So I have a quick little story to tell. I met with a brand new client a few weeks back. We had met for the first time at a property that she had requested to view, which is not always ideal, but sometimes that's just the way that it works. So we look at the home and she knows right away that she loves it and she wants to make an offer. So we begin to have the conversation that has to happen about financing. Had she spoken to a lender yet? Did she have somebody that she wanted to work with, or did she need a recommendation? This particular buyer had let me know that she really wanted to work with the bank that she had a relationship with. Fast forward 72 hours. At this point, we are still waiting on the bank to let the buyer know whether or not she's pre-approved, and we are still unable to make an offer because we still need that financing letter. So I say to the buyer, do you mind sending me the contact information of the person you spoke to at the bank? I will reach out to them. I will give them get an update from them for you, and sort of just be that intermediary that sometimes buyers need. Okay, I had to take a little break so Lincoln could join us. He was crying at the door to come in. So at this point, we only need a pre-approval. That's all we needed. We needed to know whether or not, based on this buyer's credit profile, she would be able to afford this property. A basic pre-approval. Well, what I find out from the bank is instead they charged her $300 to do a loan application. A $300 loan application that they tell me is non-refundable. So they tell me if they are to give her a pre-approval letter, they need to stop the process, cancel the loan application, go through the pre-approval process, but then she would need to apply again for the loan and pay the $300 again. What? Does this not sound ass backwards? So now I have the unfortunate news of contacting this excited first-time homebuyer to let her know that unfortunately it was in my professional opinion that the bank of her choosing was not working in her best interest, nor did I feel that they were working ethically. But if she was open to it, I would connect her to somebody that I was certain would put her best interest in the front and get her the information that she needed. Either she could afford the property and provide a pre-approval, or let her know that it simply wouldn't work. And the buyer agreed it was time to move on. And this is where the story turns. So I introduce the buyer to one of my best loan officers that I work with, Brenda Lockhart LeBlanc with Fidelity. I first had explained to Brenda what she had already gone through and what we were trying to achieve. And just as Brenda always does, she puts the buyer's best interest first. She asks all the right questions in the beginning because no two clients are the same. And not only did she let me know later that same day whether or not the buyer could get pre-approved, even better, she let me know that the buyer qualified for a $50,000 first-time homebuyer grant that's being released by the federal government on April 1st to participating banks, and Fidelity happens to be one of them. So the buyer got pre-approved. The buyer now qualifies for a $50,000 homebuyer grant. The buyer made an offer on the property, and with some very creative tactics, we were able to get the seller to agree to an extended closing through mid-April, which would allow the buyer to take advantage of this $50,000 grant. So we literally went from a $300 loss to very possibly a $50,000 gain. And if that's not the best story of the week, I don't know what is. But anyhow, this is also an example of how an agent's tenure in the business can benefit their clients. When I recommend a loan officer or an attorney or a home inspector or somebody who does homeowners insurance, it's because I know them, I trust them, and I know that they're going to work as hard for my clients as I do myself.